Welcome to Wipf and Stock's instructional video series. In this video, I will illustrate how to use fonts, address fonts in digital conversion, and special font formatting. You can find more information in your author guide under Stage 4, Preparing a Final Manuscript. Please note that I am using Microsoft Word 2011 for Mac. You may be using a different version, so some menus may appear differently. The first thing we want to address is your overall font. We prefer that you use Times New Roman. Different authors like different fonts because it reads nicely for them, it appears nicely. We ask that you use Times New Roman as it's a very streamlined font and it gives us a large character map. I'll explain what that means in a moment. The way to go about this is to highlight your text and then change it to Times New Roman. There's two ways you can highlight this. You can either do a select all. On the Mac, you can do Command A, and that will select your entire text, or simply go to Edit, Select All. Now keep in mind, if you have text that is Greek or Hebrew, you want to be very careful not to do the Select All, otherwise it's going to change that to Times New Roman as well. So what I'm going to do instead is simply select my text, go up to my font, and change it. We'll do that with some of my other text as well. If you are using Greek or Hebrew, we want to address a very specific issue. Greek and Hebrew fonts don't necessarily convert well in digital formats. This is the Kindle or the EPUB that are read on device readers as opposed to actual physical book. You can see here I've got Greek in my text. In this particular Greek sentence, I'm using SBL Greek. In this particular Greek sentence, I'm using Bible Works Greek. Now, the only difference you may see is rather stylistic. One is a little more script-oriented, one is not. But there actually is a major difference behind the scenes in the way that it is coded. SBL Greek is what's known as Unicode. Bible Works Greek remaps the keyboard to something else entirely. It is not Unicode. And this is key for when we convert to EPUB. I'll show you the difference. When I change this SBL Greek to Times New Roman, you can see that even though the style changes, the characters stay the same. When I change this Bible Works Greek to Times New Roman, you can see that the characters change entirely. This appears in your EPUB. You can see here that the SBL Greek simply retained its characters, but the Bible Works Greek did not. You have to be very careful to use a Unicode font. Otherwise, when it gets converted to the EPUB, to the Kindle, to any digital format, it will lose its Greek. The same thing with the Hebrew. If you do not use a Unicode Hebrew font, it will lose its formatting. Our preference is that you use either SBL Greek or Hebrew, or that you use Times New Roman. Both of those will work fine and they cause no problems. The next thing we'll address is special formatting, specifically for emphasis. Different authors use different ways to emphasize their text. Sometimes authors will underline text, as you see I've done here. Some will bold text, as I've done here. Some will even all cap text, as I've done here. We prefer a very streamlined approach, a user-friendly approach that presents each book in the same way. Instead of using underlining, we prefer that you italicize. Now there's two ways that you can de-underline and add italics. I tend to do it right on the keyboard. You can do Command U and then Command I. Or another way is you have a menu right here. Simply unclick this U and add the I. We'll do the same thing here. Remove the U, add the I. Now bolding, we'll remove the B, add the I. With all caps, there's no quick way to do it. You have to simply retype it. And then click your I. Now there are special cases when you want to have all caps or small caps even. Let's say, for instance, I have a word in here that's Lord, and you want that to be all caps. Or I have another word here, Lord as well, but you want that to be small caps. We'll change that over to small cap. Go to your format, font actually, excuse me, format, font, small caps. There are times, I know there's Bible translations that use Lord either in all caps or small caps, and there are times that you may want to retain this. You need to leave a specific note for the copy editor and typesetters. At some point you will be sent what's called a manuscript submission questionnaire. This form can modify and change over time, so you have to keep an eye on exactly where this information is listed. But under this, number 3, list any English words or phrases that might slow down the copy editor, etc., etc. We want you to indicate for us that Lord is capitalized or small capped. And this notes for the typesetter and the copy editor that there is a specific reason that you're doing this and to leave this alone. With small caps, you have to ensure that it's noted here because small caps do not actually retain their formatting when we convert your Microsoft Word file to our typesetting software. So it's something that we have to pay special attention to in that conversion process. As before, if you have any other questions, contact us and we're more than happy to help you through.